All right, so are you ready to really dive into the world of real estate investing?
I'm ready.
Today, we're going deep into an episode of the Property Playbook.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
It is. And we've got two amazing experts to guide us. Jake Thompson, he's like this, house flipping guru, and Amanda Davis.
And Amanda's a real estate agent, right?
Exactly. She specializes in finding those off-market deals.
Oh, those are the best, like hidden treasures, right?
Yeah, exactly. So whether you're, just starting out or you've already got some experience flipping houses, this deep dive is going to give you some serious strategies for finding those hidden gem properties. The ones with massive profit potential.
Sounds like we hit the jackpot with this episode.
Totally. Okay, so let's start with the golden rule of real estate, the one everyone always talks about. Location, location, location.
Right. You can't really get around that one.
Nope. And Jake, he really hammered this point home. He said, you want to look for areas with strong job growth.
Makes sense. People need jobs to buy houses, right?
Exactly. And good schools. Families want their kids in those top-rated districts.
Yeah, for sure. And low crime rates. Obviously, safety's a big deal for homeowners.
Totally. Jake basically said these factors, they create this high demand for housing. And when demand goes up, guess what happens?
Property values skyrocket.
Boom. You got it. It's all about appreciation.
So it's like riding a wave,
Exactly.
but you gotta be in the right spot to catch that wave.
You need to pick the right location, right?
Right.
So how do you know if a neighborhood is on the upswing? What clue should you be looking for?
Right.
Well, Amanda had some great tips on this. She said to, really look around when you're driving through a neighborhood. Play neighborhood detective, she called it. See if you spot any houses that have been recently renovated, or maybe you see some new construction popping up, or even, businesses investing in the area.
Well, that's interesting. So it's not just about the houses themselves. It's about the whole vibe of the area, right?
Exactly. Those are all signs that, a neighborhood is attracting attention and investment. It's a sign that things are moving in the right direction.
But wait, hold on a sec. What about, the ethics of all this? We don't want to just barge into a neighborhood and completely change it without considering the people who already live there.
You're totally right. We need to be responsible investors.
Right. So, are we contributing to positive growth? Or could our actions actually hurt the community? Push out the people who have been living there for years?
It's a good point. We got to find that balance between making a profit and being respectful of the community.
Totally. Okay, so we've talked about location, but what about the houses themselves?
Right. What should we be looking for in a property?
Is it all about that curb appeal?
Actually, Jake said, don't be fooled by those shiny facades.
Oh, really? So not about that perfect lawn and the fancy front door?
Nope. He actually said to look beyond the cosmetics and focus on the bones of a property.
Bones.
Yeah, the core structure,
Right.
a solid foundation, a good layout, a functional floor plan. Those are the things that really matter in the long run.
I get it. So it's like finding a classic car.
Yeah.
Maybe it's got a rusty exterior.
Okay.
But underneath, it's got this powerful engine. And with little work, you can restore it to its former glory.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
So we're looking for those properties with good bones in those up and coming locations.
Sounds good. But how do we actually find these diamonds in the rough?
That's where Amanda's expertise comes in. Right?
Yeah.
She's all about those off-market deals, the ones you won't find on Zillow or Redfin.
Ooh, that's exciting. Like secret listings?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Amanda had some pretty interesting tactics for uncovering these hidden gems.
Do tell.
One of her favorites is something called driving for dollars.
Driving for dollars? What's that?
It's exactly what it sounds like. You're literally driving through neighborhoods,
Yeah.
but you're not just, sightseeing. You're actively looking for properties that might be, ripe for an offer. Maybe you see a for sale by owner sign tucked away in a window,
Got it.
or a house that's been sitting vacant for a while.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of clues Amanda looks for.
So it's like being a detective.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Amanda also said networking is key.
Oh, that's always important.
Right. It's about connecting with people who, really know the local market.
So who should we be talking to?
Amanda specifically mentioned attorneys and estate planners. They often work with people who are looking to sell properties, quickly and quietly.
Makes sense.
And those situations, they can create some amazing opportunities for investors.
So it's like having a network of like insider informants.
Exactly. And of course, you can't forget about good old-fashioned word of mouth. Tell your friends, your family, your colleagues,
Yeah.
anyone who'll listen what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You never know who might have that perfect lead.
It's all about being resourceful, right?
Absolutely. Okay, but before we get too excited about, like, snatching up these hidden gems,
Yeah.
Jake reminded us that real estate decisions, they shouldn't just be based on gut feeling.
Right, right. Can't just go with your heart.
He had this great saying, trust your gut, but verify with data.
I like that. So it's like a balance, right?
Yeah,
Between intuition and those cold, hard facts.
exactly. You might fall in love with this charming little fixer-upper, but before you jump in headfirst, you got to crunch the numbers and make sure it actually makes financial sense.
Right. So how do we do that? How do we make sure a property is a good investment, financially speaking?
That's a great question. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into next. But first, we got to take a quick break.
Stay tuned.
We'll be right back with more expert insights from the Property Playbook. Welcome back to our deep dive. We're still digging into the Property Playbook and uncovering those real estate secrets.
We've got our treasure maps and our expert guides, Jake and Amanda leading the way.
They've given us so many great tips already. Remember how Jake, the house flipping expert, was all about focusing on a property's bones
Oh, yeah. He said to look past the outdated kitchens and peeling paint.
to see the potential hiding underneath
Right. The stuff that really matters, like a solid foundation.
and a functional layout?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the things that give a property lasting value.
It's like finding an old grandfather clock.
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
It might have stopped ticking,
Yeah, it's covered in dust.
but with a little TLC, you can get those gears turning again.
And it'll be even more beautiful because it has that history and character.
Exactly. And speaking of uncovering hidden potential, let's talk more about those off-market deals that Amanda specializes in.
Oh, yeah, those secret properties that haven't even hit the market yet.
She's like a real estate ninja, sneaking in and snatching up these gems before anyone else even knows they exist. Remember she talked about driving for dollars.
Yeah, what was that all about again?
It's pretty simple, actually. You're just driving around neighborhoods, looking for properties that might be good investment opportunities.
So you're not just out for a Sunday drive, you've got your investor hat on.
Exactly. You're looking for those subtle clues.
Okay, like what?
Well, maybe you see a for sale by owner sign that's kind of hidden away,
Gotcha.
or a house that's been sitting empty for a while.
Ah, so those are like little red flags that something's up.
Exactly. And Amanda also stressed the importance of networking, connecting with people who have their finger on the pulse of the market.
So who should we be talking to? Real estate agents, obviously.
Yeah, but Amanda also suggested connecting with attorneys and estate planners.
Why them?
Well, they often work with people who need to sell properties quickly and discreetly, and that can create some great opportunities for investors who are in the know.
Ah, I see. So it's like having a secret network of informants.
Exactly. And don't forget about good old-fashioned word of mouth. Tell everyone you know what you're looking for. You never know who might have that perfect lead.
Makes sense. So we're driving for dollars, networking like crazy, and spreading the word. Now what?
Now we got to talk about the numbers.
Uh-oh, the less glamorous part.
I know, but it's crucial.
You're right. Can't just throw money at a property without thinking it through.
Exactly. Remember how Jake talked about his system for estimating repair costs?
Yeah, he made it sound pretty straightforward.
It is, once you know what you're doing. He basically breaks down repairs into categories, like roofing, electrical, plumbing, all that stuff.
Right?
And then, based on his experience and what he hears from contractors, he assigns a rough cost estimate to each category.
So this is where his years of flipping houses really come in handy.
Totally. He knows where those hidden costs can lurk. But even with a detailed budget, you got to have a contingency fund, for those unexpected expenses that always seem to pop up.
Oh, yeah, like when you open up a wall and find like a family of squirrels living in there.
Exactly. But even with a rock-solid budget, you still need to make sure you're not overpilling for a property. Remember that concept of after repair value, or ARV?
Vaguely. Refresh my memory.
It's basically estimating what the property will be worth after you've fixed it up, once it's all shiny and new.
Got it. So you're basically trying to predict the future.
Kinda. You're looking at comparable properties in the area, the ones that have recently sold, to get a sense of what buyers are willing to pay.
So you're like a real estate fortune teller.
Uh-huh, something like that. But even with a solid ARV, you got to factor in your profit margin.
Right, because we're not doing this for charity.
Exactly. You want to make sure you're making a decent return on your investment. A healthy profit margin is usually between 15 and 20%, but that can vary depending on the market and the risk involved.
So we've got our estimated repair costs, our projected ARV, and our desired profit margin. Sounds like we're ready to go.
Almost. But before we jump in, we got to remember Amanda's wise words. She said, it's okay to walk away from a deal if it doesn't feel right, even if the numbers look good on paper.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Sometimes your gut is trying to tell you something.
Exactly. It's like that feeling you get when you walk into a house and you just sense that something's off. Like maybe the energy is weird.
Or you keep hearing creaking noises.
Exactly. It's about trusting your instincts and not letting the excitement of a potential deal cloud your judgment.
Sometimes the best deals are the ones we don't make.
So true. Remember, you're in control. You get to choose which opportunities to pursue. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from location and renovation costs to ARV and the importance of trusting your gut. But there's still more to explore.
I'm ready for the next adventure.
Welcome back to our final deep dive into the property playbook. We've talked about location, crunching numbers, even trusting your gut.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle. We can't forget about the human side of real estate.
Right. It's not just about bricks and mortar.
It's about building relationships, connecting with people, understanding what buyers and sellers really want.
So we're adding a whole new dimension to our treasure map.
Exactly. Remember Jake talked about the power of referrals? A lot of those golden opportunities come from people you already know.
So it's not just about networking events and handing out business cards.
Nope. It's about building genuine connections, with people who share your passion for real estate.
Like cultivating a garden.
Yeah, I like that. You nurture those relationships, share your knowledge, and help each other succeed.
And you never know when those seeds you plant will blossom into, like, a fantastic referral.
Right. It's amazing how often that happens.
And Amanda had some great tips, too. Remember, she talked about thinking outside the box,
Yeah.
like connecting with attorneys and estate planners.
Oh, yeah. Those folks who are always dealing with properties behind the scenes.
Exactly. It's about tapping into those less obvious networks.
Being a bit of a detective.
I'm sensing a theme here.
What's that?
Being proactive. You got it. It's about taking initiative, building trust, and always keeping your eyes open for those unexpected connections. But it's not just about who you know.
Right.
It's also about using the right tools.
You mean like technology?
Exactly. There are so many online platforms and tools these days that can help you, like research properties, analyze market trends, even connect with potential buyers and sellers.
It's like having a digital treasure chest.
Sure.
Full of maps and compasses and secret weapons.
Love it. But remember, technology is just a tool. It can't replace those core principles we've been talking about.
Right. Location, good bones, and a solid financial plan. Those are the foundations of successful real estate investing.
And of course, we can't forget about that balance between intuition and data. Remember what Jake said, trust your gut, but verify with data.
Oh, yeah. Got to double check those gut feelings with the facts and figures.
Right. Get a professional inspection. Crunch the numbers. Make sure the property really aligns with your goals. And remember Amanda's advice. Don't be afraid to walk away from a deal if it doesn't feel right, even if you put in a lot of time and effort.
Sometimes those are the toughest decisions to make, but it's better to walk away than to get stuck with a property that's not a good fit.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the property playbook, what are you taking away from all this? What kind of property are you most excited to hunt for? Real estate investing, it's a journey, not a destination. It's about continuous learning, exploring new strategies, and building your own treasure map, one connection, one property, one deal at a time. So keep that treasure hunter spirit alive, and who knows what hidden gems you might unearth. Until next time, happy hunting.